everyone and welcome. This week, well, I shouldn't say week, but I'm working on a series on some of my favorite stamp companies that I love using their products. Sometimes I don't get around to using it the way that I want to because I'm working on DT stuff, or I've been lately so busy with my daughter this the end of the cheering competition season, so things have been really busy and really hectic with practice every day, competitions that are very, very long, and other things like that I haven't really had the time to even craft the way that I love crafting. And I don't know about you, but crafting for me is something that is very therapeutic. I love doing it when I can after work, if I'm not too tired, because it's just my relaxing time. That's my me time, and I love having my me time. I am an introvert through and through, so when I'm constantly on somebody else's time and I never get that me time, it's very frustrating to me. So I'm finally getting a chance to get into my craft room some. So I decided, even though I haven't been really crafting this past week, I have been brainstorming and thinking of things that I want to do. And so one of the things I'm going to do is just, do a little series on some of my favorite stamp companies. So I'm starting off with the Stamps of Life. They're one of my recently, in the recent year and a half or so that I've been with them now. I'm a member of their Stamp of the Month Club, their Die Hard Club. I'm a member of that, where each month, on the first of the month, they send out a stamp set and a die set if you belong to the Die Hard Club. If you're not, if you're just a Stamp of the Month member, you just get the stamp set. And then on the 20th of that month is when those dies are then released to everybody else. But so we get like the first few days to use those dies if you are part of the Die Hard Club. So I really love that company. I love the stamps. I love looking at the DT work because she really believes in Stephanie Bernard. She's the owner of the Stamps of Life. Her and her husband really believe in keeping it simple, and I can't tell you enough. I love keeping things simple. I wish I actually discovered them years ago, because I always tried to make complex cards, especially when I was trying to be a part of design teams and whatnot. I tried to see what they want, and I tailored myself to that instead of staying true to myself, where I love to keep things simple. Not only is it is more cost effective that way, that I'm not worrying about, oh my goodness, I have to have this particular kind of ribbon, this particular kind of brad, this, just keeping it clean and simple. The bare basics of what you need. But I still love doing some of my other techniques and stuff, and I'll do that every once in a while. But I decided to use the Stamp of Life as my first company to use. And so the first card up in the series is going to be this card. I'm actually going to change up the design a little bit. Here we are using, these are two new releases that came out April 7th. And, well, I'm sorry, this one came out April 7th, and this other one I think came out March 7th. This one is called Scribbles to Stamp. And hopefully, let me turn the best so you can see it. It's just a bunch of scribbles that she did. On her video, she said that she was looking at the pattern on her bed, and it had a whole bunch of scribbles, and she decided to do a stamp set based upon that. And then the other stamp set that I just love that I'm using is Crazy for Life. I really, really love this. I especially love this one. I don't go crazy. I am crazy. I just go normal from time to time. I'm constantly, especially when I'm upset with my child, I constantly tell her, I'm crazy, right? And so I just love this stamp set. Okay, so to get started, I'm actually going to On here, I'm going to keep the same color cardstock, but I used 3 different inks on this one. I used cranberry ink, holiday red, and tulip as my 3 colors here. Those are from close to my heart. But this time I'm just going to use holiday red and do some generational stamping. So let's get started. So I'm starting off with a piece of cardstock that measures, let's see here, 3 1/4 by 4. And what we're going to do here is we're going to do some stamping. And I just got a piece of scratch paper. Let me widen this out some for you. Okay, so I'm just going to use some different scribbles. So I'm trying to figure out which ones that I used before so I can use something different. Okay, so we're going to use this one. Okay, and I'm using some holiday red ink. And I'm going to do some generational stamping. So I'm going to ink up. I'm going to ink off. Actually, that could have been better, so. Ink up. Oh, I know what I'm forgetting. A little pad here. Okay, so there we go. And I'm just trying to do this in triangles. My block. Okay, but I think those can be hidden. Can you see? Oh yeah, you can. So I'm going to try to see if I can hide that as much as I can. But it's those little mistakes that makes a card homemade, right? Okay. So now I'm going to get a smaller stamp. Use this one here. And we're going to still do some generational stamping with this one. This one is a new stamp. So, but I think, let me do this. Let me see how does it look in 3rd generation. So yeah, I think I'm going to use 3rd generational stamping on this one. So that means I'm going to stamp off once, stamp off twice, and then stamp on there on the 3rd time. I mean, you can actually sometimes with these keep going. So I'm just trying to fill in some of these areas. Just trying to fill in some of this white space here. Actually, let me do that again. So we're using the third generational stamping, going into some of these places where I've already stamped, doesn't come off looking as bad because it's even lighter as the second. Okay, I think that's good. And I have a feeling that it is now 4 o'clock. And I need to be watching Dr. Phil. Okay, so now I'm going to take this bigger one, add it to my block. And this one is just going to be regular stamping. This is based upon a card, I should say. I should have said this at the beginning. That one of her design team members did, and I think the sentiment was "Why You're So Blue" or something like that. And I really liked it with the scribble, so I decided to make my own version of that card. Let's see. And I'm not going to do a whole lot of this one because it's bolder and it's bigger. I think I am going to do one more over here in this corner though. Okay. And the reason why I chose the sentiment "I'm crazy for you" because with all the scribbles, everything looks crazy. Okay, I should clean that off later. So now, the way I had this card here, as you can see here, is I have it coming up like this. This is the same way that the design team member had. Only difference was I think her sentiment came down here. So this time, I want it going off to the left like this. And I used some aqua glue, but I didn't really like that glue for some reason. It just wasn't sticking down the way that I thought that it should. Okay, and so all I'm going to do here is add this right off to the side. And I think this is going to be a card going to Operation Right Home. Okay, so then my card base, I'm using just some regular white cardstock here. Okay, I'm trying to make sure my hands are a little inky. So, I guess that's a good thing, right? So this is the A2. I'm doing this card upside down. So if I look confused, that's the reason why. There we go. And this is from Recollections at Michael's. And this is 110-pound weight, and it's really thick. And I really love that they came out with that. I love their cardstock for using with my Cricut. Same thing with Close to My Heart. It's very thin, but for my cards, I love a sturdy base. Stephanie Bernard at the Stamps of Life. She has some paper also. I haven't tried it out yet, but I'm going to eventually. I have issues with my mail people, so when it comes to ordering things big and bulky, I tend to go away from it because they don't like to tell me that I got packages until I'm going crazy saying I haven't gotten it yet. They tend to forget to leave the notices on my door or in my mailbox. Okay. So this is our card base. And then this is going to go up here. If I decide, do I want a little border? Do I want it going all the way at the top? Have it centered. I think I want to do that. But first, I need to put my sentiment on. Completely forgot about that. I'm going to use the same sentiment since I have a block right here that will fit it. It says, I am crazy for you. I'm using some VersaFine black ink. This is my favorite ink. But also, I've come to love the Close to My Heart one too. That's another really good ink. I'm going to put it right here. Okay, I'm crazy for you. Let that dry a little bit. I'm trying out this new adhesive. I was a part of a group buy with Christy Scraptastical Creations for it's an off-brand of the Scotch ATG. So far, it's not that bad. To me, it's not as strong as the Scotch one, but it does what it's supposed to do and it holds it, so I can't complain. It was only $1.95, I think, per roll, so I bought like 10. Because, you know, at the store, you're spending $10 just for 2. Okay. And so, there goes that card. If you want to, you can add some buttons, maybe a little bit of bling throughout, a couple of places for some bling, but I'm just going to keep it like this. So, thank you for joining me today. Bye-bye.